You guys, the consciousness shift is here. If you were just watching my live, I was talking a lot about how we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Let me break that down for you and how it applies to you, to us all. So we go through life and we all know that sometimes life really likes to life. 11:44 on the time. Okay, we have that. We know that happens, okay, to all of us. But the shift, the 5D consciousness, the shift is knowing that life is happening, but we are not of the life that is happening. We are here to have experiences in a human body through a human vessel. So, to put that in perspective, we all have went through trauma. We've all had tribulations in our life. And our ego is here to protect us. That is the human part of us, our ego, our instincts, our survival mechanisms, what keeps us human. The ego, in order to keep us alive, created stories, created narratives to make sense of what was happening to you, especially as a child, an innocent child who had really little to no control over what was happening to you externally. The soul is the part that has, for a long time, been hidden from us. It's not something that's taught in school. It's not something that's talked about super regularly. I mean, it is now that the collective is awakening at a rapid pace. But the soul is our infinite and unlimited beingness. It is the I am. So my name is Julia, right? But I know that I am not Julia, because when I tap into my soul, when I have experiences with the infinite, with the God consciousness, I know I am all that is. I am all that is. No matter everything I've been through, no matter what I'm going through right now, I know I am all that is and all that ever exists. I am that all the time. In order to be able to see and to know and to feel that you are all that is, we needed to have this duality, this reflection of us of, trials, tribulations, trauma, the things that we came here to learn and unlearn. Our souls exist beyond all that we experience. Our experiences help shape us in this human vessel, but they are not the truth of us. We exist beyond that, which means we have the ability to transmute and to reprogram all that we've ever experienced ever in this lifetime and in every lifetime before that. Our soul is our power. It is how we are able to help the collective ascend. It is the part of us that knows we are more than what we're experiencing. It is the part of you that, even though you're struggling with this, that, the other thing, there's a part of you that's like, but I still feel like there's so much more to this life. There has to be so much more to this life, and that is your soul nudging you. We are in the 5D consciousness. The 3D consciousness still exists. The 5D consciousness is here now. 5D consciousness is calling us to constantly remember that we are not the stories that we tell ourselves. Those stories are the egoic protection for us to be able to have been able to survive on this planet, to make sense of the experiences that we had, to survive. Our soul is here to live. So, for example, let's just say you want to create abundance. I was watching this podcast. It's called Know Thyself, in the most recent episode with Peter Crone, I believe his name is. He said he had a client and she was like, I want to create abundance. And he goes, wait a minute. If you're saying you want to create abundance, you're basically saying that you don't have that, or you're not already abundant. And he said the thing is, abundance is not something you create. Abundance is something that just is. It's just something that exists. Like love is something that just is. It's not something you can create. It just is. It's what you're made of. Peace is something that just is. Now we can take away distractions. We can take away noise in order to tune into that frequency. And that's the whole thing with manifestation. All that you're trying to create already is. It's just, can you get yourself focused, quiet, and disciplined enough to tune into that which already is, which is already you, because you are. You just are that. It doesn't exist outside of you. It exists within you. You are made of the fabric of what it is you were trying to call in. And you have to take away all the crud, all the egoic stories and the noise and all of that crap. And you need to recognize that you are all. You are everything. You are infinite. And it's time to step into that. It's time to tap into that. It's time to, even when life is life, even when shit's getting crazy, you need to remember that you are all that is, and you always will be all that is, and that you have so much more power than you may recognize. And the stories that you're telling yourself with the behavior that matches those stories, those are stories, and you can drop them at any given moment. You are not a slave to the stories, and we have to start finding ways to not be slaves to those stories. And that looks like having a disciplined spiritual practice, daily meditation, daily grounding, whatever it looks like to you, listening to frequencies. Do something small. This week I'm doing every single day, this whole week, I'm brushing my teeth with my left hand. It may sound small, it may sound tiny, but it's my way of starting to be very disciplined, because I realize I lack that masculine energy sometimes. I've been very in my feminine, very in my emotions. And yes, I'm here for that. And sometimes our emotions that are attached to stories from the ego are just not helpful for us to remember or to bring into the present, and they just no longer need to exist. So, in order for me to be able to separate myself from my emotions and be like, okay, I understand this trigger is coming up, and let's take a deep breath, and let's evaluate the gap between the choice that I can make, which is the soul choice, or the soul that is the ego choice, which is the story in which you feel trapped in. And you have the power to choose. You have the power to consciously create and manifest a new choice. And yeah, it may seem like dull, it may seem like no way I'm gonna get there, what's on the other side of this, etc. But those little inklings that you have been continuously getting, and I know you've been getting them, maybe you've been seeing synchronicities, like things like that, that's your sign. That's your knowing. That is your heart. That's your soul. That is God. That is the knowing that on the other side of this different choice is a new life. And you know it's there. Your heart knows it's there. Your soul knows it's there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting inklings. You wouldn't be getting nudges. You wouldn't be getting, hey, let's choose this. Hey, maybe pause. Maybe reflect. That is your infinite knowing, your infinite love, your infinite abundance, your infinite creation, your infinite everything. It's here. It's now. And yeah, it's waiting for you. And I hope this helped. I love you.